A Nigerian activist has been arrested who they call Mr. Dele Farotimi, and this actually angers me in a sense and few other Nigerians, and it pains us and it makes us kind of have deep reflection, because earlier today the activist and relentless voice of conscience, Mr. Dele Farotimi, was arrested and his whereabouts remain unknown. This is not just an arrest, it is a message from a toxic system that strives on silencing truth. But today, I have to say no, because this kind of affects the way I'm viewing things. Dele Farotimi's recent statement and the video he made 2 days ago called Truth Never Dies in Darkness, or Truth Dies in Darkness, echoes loudly at the moment. The truth is that Nigeria, our beloved country, is at a dangerous crossroads. Why is it that speaking the truth has become a crime? Why does our government feel threatened by those who dare to call out its wickedness and its failure to serve the people? The arrest of Mr. Dele Farotimi raises 10 critical questions about the state of our nation. Number one is he being targeted because he exposes the government's inefficiency and corruption? Is it because it demands accountability for the oppression of the masses? Could it be his refusal to remain silent in the face of lies? Is it because he speaks for the voiceless who cannot afford justice? Is the government afraid of his growing influence as a symbol of resistance? Does his call for a fair society threaten their hold on power? Is this an attempt to instill fear in other activists? Are external forces influencing our government to suppress dissent? Most chillingly, is this about terminating his voice and his life to set an example? These same questions to me apply to another brave person or brave voice called Deji Adeyonju, a barrister and an activist that a lot of us are familiar with through Very Dark Man. With his fearless criticism of political elite, which he made a statement and he made an interview in The Glitch, and I begin to worry that, is he next? What are we becoming as a nation if we allow these champions of justice to be silenced? If these champions of justice tends to be silenced, our constitution kind of guarantees freedom of speech, yet the reality is kind of far from it. Instead of addressing disputes through the court, through documents, through dialogue and decorum, our government uses police brutality, kidnappings in the name of arrest, and scare tactics. Are we still a democracy, or have we regressed into tyranny? Which obviously we have in a way. But let me remind you of something powerful. Truth cannot be silenced, not by threats, not by violence, not even by death. The truth is like light. It will always find its way through darkness. Now, the future of Nigeria lies in our hands, the youth of Nigeria, and I think we are still sleeping. I think what we can do is to raise our voice. We have to use every platform available, social media, community gatherings, and peaceful protests to demand answers about Mr. Dele Farotimi's location and safety. The Nigerian youth needs to start thinking about this. Legal mobilization, lawyers must step forward, because he's a lawyer. Nigerian lawyer must step forward to defend activists and challenge the government's oppressive tactics in court. We need international attention. Let the world know what is happening. Call on human rights organizations and foreign governments to hold our leaders accountable. We need to talk about organized protest. Peaceful protest should not require police permission. We don't need police permission to protest. We must exercise our rights and demand the release of all wrongfully detained citizens. And I'm using this opportunity to refer to both Deji Adeyonju and Very Dark Man, because Deji Adeyonju, you would be the next if we don't start doing things about it. We need to start educating the masses, teach our people about their constitutional rights, because an informed citizen is harder to oppress. Then we need to talk about 6, maybe the economic pressure. boycott businesses and individuals who fund or support oppressive regimes. And then we need to demand transparency. We need to insist on public accountability for every arrest and every policy. And lastly, I would say there needs to be political engagement. We need, as Nigerian youth, planning into 2025 and 2027. That will be the next. We need to start planning for maybe 2027. The power lies in our votes, but we must also organize, educate, and mobilize to elect leaders with integrity, which those of us who tends to be an activist who try to speak up the truth, we would need the support of Nigerians. Nigerians need to start looking at activists who are willing to speak for the truth, who are willing to rise, to give them few supports to make sure their voices are being heard. They are being promoted somehow on social media, and their voices go so far. Those who are actually more informed to be able to speak on this subject. So I would say lastly to our youth, we are the heartbeat of this nation, and we do not let fear to paralyze us. History has shown us that oppressive regimes crumbles when the people unite. To the Nigerian government, we would ask, and I would ask you, why are you so afraid of truth? If you believe in your policies, defend them with fact, not force. If you accuse someone of defamation, serve them documents, not detention. And if you claim to be for the people, then start acting like it. So to my fellow Nigerians, let us not forget the power of the people is greater than the power or the people in power. Dele Farotimi may be missing, but his words are not. They are here with us, igniting a fire that cannot be extinguished.